Only in America.
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 Hey, it's Ali. Welcome back to Only in America. As you might have heard, on Thursday, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 that the Trump administration did not provide an adequate justification for rescinding DACA. Now, this is amazing news for hundreds of thousands of DACA recipients who can breathe a sigh of relief today. It is also amazing news for millions of Americans who have come to know, to respect, to depend on, to love DACA recipients. In short, this is amazing news for the United States. However, it is temporary news. To help us understand the ruling, I asked the forum's Assistant Vice President of Policy and Advocacy, Larry Benenson, to discuss exactly what this means and where we go from here. So Larry, thank you for joining. To get us started, summarize Chief Justice Roberts' opinion.
So Chief Justice Roberts joined with the 4 Democratic appointees in allowing DACA to continue. The court held that the justification provided by the Trump administration was not sufficient to end the program. It held that for a couple different reasons. First, it noted that DHS did not initially provide sufficient policy justifications for ending DACA, instead just asserting that it felt that DACA was unlawful and legally questionable, but not addressing the policy piece of this. When the DHS did provide some policy justifications several months later, those justifications were not fully consistent with the initial legal justification. And Chief Justice Roberts noted that agencies need to be consistent in their explanations and can't just provide post hoc explanations for these types of agency decisions. Chief Justice Roberts also noted that DHS failed to look at potential alternatives and potential options in winding down the program. He specifically focused on the fact that DHS didn't examine whether it could allow protections from deportation to continue while terminating work authorization and other associated benefits, which had been at the heart of the legal challenges to the DACA program. He also noted that DHS failed to consider the hardship faced by Dreamers and DACA recipients in ending the program. The fact that so many had built a reliance over the years on the benefits conferred by DACA, and in failing to even weigh some of those benefits, while perhaps not determinative of the outcome here, DHS failed to fully engage in a thoughtful, reasoned process. The decision, it should be said, by the Supreme Court does not foreclose further action on DACA. It explicitly states that the Trump administration retains the ability to end the program, and that potentially it could even make another attempt to do so if it provides sufficient justification for doing so.
So along these lines, what does the ruling on Thursday mean for DACA recipients today? How is this going to affect their lives? What options do they have now?
So this is great news for DACA recipients. At least for the time being, it lifts a dramatic weight off their shoulders. Those with DACA protections from deportation will have those protections continue to the extent they have work authorization and associated benefits related to that. Those benefits continue until they expire. DACA, of course, is a 2-year renewable term. So those are wonderful benefits to those who have the program, and it ensures that there's at least a degree of certainty for the time being. Also, the decision seems to suggest that those who currently have DACA protections can continue to renew those protections. The decision also implies that the program will likely be able to start accepting new applicants, Dreamers who for the last couple of years haven't been able to apply to receive DACA protections. That said, the opinion doesn't say that explicitly, and due to the pandemic, USCIS is operating in a very diminished capacity, so it's unclear how quickly those would be processed. But it does imply that they would have the ability, new applicants would have the ability to try to obtain those protections if they otherwise qualify.
So in essence, the administration can do a couple of different things here. They could move forward with another process to try to rescind the program so that the court would not find it, as they said today, arbitrary and capricious, or the administration could move forward and begin not just to continue to renew existing applications, but actually take new applications. That's kind of the big decision points lying ahead for the administration.
Yeah, under the opinion, it seems that the administration would likely have to start processing new applicants, although again, there's some capacity issues with USCIS right now.
So if you're a member of Congress, on one hand, you're looking at this decision and you also are breathing a sigh of relief. But this decision doesn't leave Congress off the hook. So what should members of Congress be doing moving forward?
Because DACA itself is only a temporary program that provides for 2 years of renewable protections, it continues to be absolutely necessary for Congress to address this issue, to make sure that Dreamers can obtain permanent protections. And because the Trump administration may still get another attempt to build an administrative record to terminate the program and provide a reasoned decision for that this time, a reasoned justification for it, there still remains uncertainty. So it continues to be essential that Congress take up this issue and find ways to keep Dreamers who are otherwise contributing necessary parts of our community, find a way to let them have more permanent protections.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, the one thing about DACA is that it enjoys a level of support across the political spectrum like very few other issues at this point in time. And, we've seen bipartisan efforts both in the House and the Senate over the years, and it just seems like the opportunity is ripe for Congress to take advantage of this news and not wait for the next crisis. So thank you so much for joining, Larry. Really, really appreciate this. And folks, like I said at the top, this is great news. I mean, as we all know, Dreamers are on the front lines fighting COVID-19. They're working in U.S. businesses, they're studying in colleges and contributing to our communities. In fact, there are an estimated 29,000 DACA recipients working on the front line as medical professionals during the COVID-19 pandemic. And there have been various data points that have pointed to the future contribution of Dreamers. In fact, over the next 10 years, Dreamers will contribute an estimated $433 billion to the GDP, $60 billion in fiscal impact, and $12.3 billion in taxes to Social Security and Medicare. So, in the end, this is great news, but it's temporary unless Congress moves forward. But let's celebrate here. Big congratulations to the Dreamers, the pastors, the CEOs, the chiefs, the sheriffs, and the advocates for all of their incredible work to get us to this place. Click over to our website, immigrationforum.org, for more information on the DACA program and what lies ahead. And next week, tune in to Only in America for a special episode about how refugees in Greece are helping churches in South Carolina amid the coronavirus pandemic. Thank you so much to Larry Benenson, our Assistant Vice President for Policy and Advocacy, for joining. I'm Ali Narani. This podcast is produced by Joanna Taylor, Megan Wetmore, Beckett Wall, and Carla Leha. Talk to you all next week.